Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Quantumania will open Marvel Phase 5 with Kang the Conqueror as the vast cult of warring champions that the Avengers have to face. But given Kang's champ status, doesn't it logically follow that he must have killed Thanos at some point? Or at many points? The cast and crew are now specifically pitting Thanos versus Kang, and when you go back to rewatch Loki and Multiverse of Madness, Infinity War Endgame, you can actually pinpoint the specific Nexus moment when Kang would have targeted the Mad Titan, and I'm gonna break down what that likely assassination tells us about the surprising status of the 616 universe as we know it. In an interview at Brazilian Comic-Con earlier this month, Quantumania director Peyton Reed, unprovoked, compared Kang to Thanos.
We're encountering an antagonist who's unlike anything they've ever experienced, and that includes Thanos.
And notice right at the end of that line, Peyton Reed fist bumps Kang actor Jonathan Majors. Now Majors was otherwise tight-lipped in this interview, but was later asked about his workout regimen and how physical he would be getting as Kang.
And we want to know if you're going to use any of these workouts you have to do with your body on this next movie.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Like Hulk. No, I'm kidding.
All of it.
It's funny because if you read Dynasty Kang, he doesn't fight. He's not like a brawl guy.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen here?
You're gonna get all of it.
All right.
You get all of it.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
You're gonna get all of it. I clearly want to be here, and I'm not just doing this so I won't get fined. I don't know, maybe Majors just had trouble hearing the interviewers. It was really loud in that room, but he is indicating here and has discussed in other interviews the wide range of characterizations he would get to create as Kang as the primary thing that drew him to this role. And while Peyton Reed has described this Quantumania Kang as a variant who conserves of energy, with Majors saying all of it and his fist bump with the director at the mention of him being more fearsome than Thanos, I think Majors is gonna play at least one Kang who makes Thanos say, "Just that for a drop of blood? Oh shit." Remember, in the Quantumania trailer footage that we've seen so far, Kang has implied he has killed countless Avengers in the past. And we know for sure that Kang is certainly aware of Thanos. Kang variant He Who Remains scripted the Sacred Timeline in which Thanos was a major antagonist, and Thanos showed up in Loki episode 2 in the multiple choice question on Miss Minutes training module. Thanos has 2 apples. He eats both but realizes he wants more. He goes back in time 20 minutes and eats the apples again. Does this mean the apples will not have existed in the timeline he left? A, no, because time is constantly happening. B, the question doesn't matter because a branch cannot change another time branch. Or C, Thanos would have been hungry prior because the grandfather paradox already accounted for the change in matter before its move. When we look back at this, the TVA rank and file seem to suggest B was the correct answer, but I don't know. By the Loki season 1 finale, the true answer seems actually to be all of the above. Look, whatever your thoughts on this, anyone who thinks that they firmly understand 100% the logic of Loki season 1 and what exactly happened in that finale is fooling themselves, which is why I am actually revisiting it currently for a major project that I am working on, announcement coming early next week. But one thing we do know for sure about this Kang variant He Remains is that he made an exception for the Avengers to use time travel. He Remains wanted the 616 Avengers to defeat Thanos using the time heist. Renslayer confirmed this to Loki in episode 1.
We're not here to talk about the Avengers.
Oh no?
No, what they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Now, I have theorized before that He Remains made that exception so that Tony Stark would later unlock quantum time travel with that inverted Mobius strip in his basement, this being the discovery that Nathan Richards would later build on and master 1,000 years later, and that He Who Remains scripted this out so that Stark would die shortly after so that he would have no time to dismantle that technology or, throw it in the ocean like he likes to do with his tech. In fact, the more we learn about the 616 MCU, the more it starts to seem like it's less of a sacred timeline, but really an exception to the multiversal norm. 616 is like a rogue timeline. It's a variant branch that went unpruned. The normal Marvel universe is probably supposed to have mutants alongside Avengers, right? But He Who Remains, in his campaign to prune all other Kang rivals during that multiversal war that he talked about in the finale, he left one 616 timeline untouched so that it would keep his own origin intact. Basically, in a massive Kang tree, He Who Remains clipped all other branches so other Kang apples fell down to the ground, then only one branch remaining that left the He Who Remains apple. Too high enough off the ground so hungry Thanos couldn't eat that apple. I kind of mixed metaphors there, but I hope it made sense. Now, I'm on camera a lot, so I have to see my face a lot, so you'd think I would have to put a lot of effort in my skincare routine, but you know what? I really don't, because I use Geology. Geology is a 15-time award-winning personalized skincare company recognized in Hypebeast, Birdie, Men's Health, and Esquire, and Aspen Grooming Awards with over 6,000 5-star reviews, and they've recently expanded to offer products for pretty much whatever you need. All you gotta do is take this 30-second diagnostic quiz, and Geology is gonna figure out your routine for you. Like if you need some hair care, well, use Geology's Co-Wash. It's a specially formulated cream cleanser that removes buildup and cleanses the hair without the big lather or the harsh ingredients of typical shampoo. And for the rest of your shower routine, you can use their body washes. They're free of harsh ingredients, they smell great, and are refillable. And for after the shower, protect your skin from environmental stressors with vitamin C plus E ferulic serum to keep your skin looking young and healthy, and then a bit of dermatologist-tested aluminum-free deodorant that really smells great. Right now, for a limited time, Geologist is hooking our audience up with an absolutely crazy offer. Use the code NEWROCKSTARS. They will give you an additional 70% off their award-winning skincare trial set. That discount applies whether you're stocking up for yourself or stuffing someone else's stocking instead. Either way, Geology has you covered. Check out their awesome gift sets featuring all of your favorite Geology products. To get started, just click the link in the description, take a 30-second diagnostic quiz, and their team of dermatologists will design a personalized routine just for you that ships directly to your door. But as a better example, perhaps, let's look at Universe 838 from Multiverse of Madness. This universe had no Tony Stark present currently, but it was still a universe where he once existed, based on those Ultron sentries walking around. This is also a universe with an Illuminati formed by Stephen Strange, who had led them to defeat Thanos in their Infinity War. How? By dreamwalking with the Darkhold. Now, we don't often discuss the past possession of the Darkhold and who handed it off to whom, something I suspect that we will learn more about in Phase 5 with titles like Agatha Coven of Chaos, but I think the 838 Illuminati's win over Thanos was scripted for them by Kang. Kang had curated their timeline so that 838 Strange would use the Darkhold to defeat Thanos. Now, why do I think Kang was involved with this? Well, two major clues in this crime scene. First, the Gauntlet. That dead Thanos has acquired 4 out of 6 Infinity Stones. He's got the power, the space, reality, and the soul stones, but not the Mind Stone and not the Time Stone. So this Thanos must have been killed right before he would have acquired the Time Stone. Secondly, it's the way this Thanos was clearly killed. His own sword plunged into his chest. Now, we don't know which of these Illuminati delivered the death blow, but given the fact that this is a corporeal wound and not like him blasted to smithereens by Black Bolt or something, I'm going to assume that this was some kind of combo. Reed Richards slingshotting that sword using his elastic body into Thanos' chest. Why do I think that? Because Reed's elastic slingshot maneuvers are really the one physical edge he has over his opponents. It's one range attack that Thanos wouldn't have seen coming. But more importantly, this is a death blow that needed Kang's patriarchal ancestor to be in the mix. That's why I think Multiverse of Madness made sure to include that line about Reed Richards having children. Reed Richards is a distant ancestor to Nathaniel Richards, Kang. So in the 838 universe, Kang did this so that these Marvel heroes would have no need to have to invent time travel to undo Thanos' snap. He limited these heroes to multiversal travel by dreamwalking from the Darkhold sorcery. Not technological quantum time travel that Kang would use in the future, they used magic, not science. So that Kang and only Kang would always have that technological backdoor to whatever sloppy incursions their magic caused. So this, right here on Titan, is the moment that Kang engineered Thanos' death, right before the Time Stone would enter the play and snuffing out a future in-game time heist. Which makes sense because this Battle of Titan was Conqueror Thanos at his most vulnerable and likely was a nexus moment for Thanos to be assassinated in any timeline. That's why it makes sense to blame Peter Quill for punching Thanos out of his trance in Infinity War, as one moment the Avengers could have taken Thanos down before the snap happened. We're right to hate Peter Quill for that. They were so close. Now, of course, Quill still needed to be part of this overall dogpile because when you rewatch Infinity War, he totally provided essential distractions for other Avengers to be able to pin Thanos. But really, they were so close to ending the 616 Infinity War. All that Kang would have had to do to change the odds here would be to add someone like, oh, I don't know, Ant-Man. Ant-Man could have snuck inside the gauntlet and wriggled it off the hand. He could have gone inside Thanos' chest cavity to give him a heart attack. He could have blown his butt out. Any number of hypothetical what-ifs here. And for Kang to be a true conqueror, Thanos must just be a villain from an older age that merely played a part in Kang's machinations and died at a deliberate moment of Kang's choosing. For most realities, that moment was definitely on Titan, except in 616, when Kang needed Thanos to get far enough for the Avengers to start putting the word quantum in front of everything. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.